Lots of people missing. That makes all the difference. One more minute. अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुदेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। दयाकरं दयाकारं दान्तं धर्मप्रवर्तकम् प्रणमामि दयानन्दं मदाचार्यवरं परम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We covered a lot of ground yesterday. We saw how the Panchikaranam, the process of grossification, is described as that which brings the Jagat as an objectifiable entity. It makes the whole Jagat, which is made up of bhutas. That which is made up of bhuta is called bhautika. Bhutebhyaha jatam bhautikam. So that which is made up of the panchabhutas, what are bhutas? 5 elements. That which is made up of the 5 elements is called bhautika. Elementals made up of the elements. So we saw how the Jagat is an objectifiable entity, but it was already an objectifiable entity. What is the big deal? The big deal is that the Jagat now in this new understanding includes what I used to call me. What is that? Body, senses, mind, buddhi, ahankara, I notion. I am the doer. I am the done in by other people's doing. All this is included in what is called Jagat. Then what is this I? Chaitanya. This is what we saw yesterday, that between the three categories we started with. What were the three categories? Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. So then the Jagat and Ishvara are made into one, right? Collapsed. Very interesting. How did that happen? By seeing everything as Ishvara. Why? Because the five elements, which are the building block of the universe, have come from where? Ishvara, which is what? Atma. This Atma endowed with the Shakti, all knowledge, all Shakti to create, to take back, to sustain. This is what is called the Maya Shakti. And that same Maya Shakti, which endows Brahman with the ability to create and all these qualities, Aishwaryam, 6 qualities, 6 virtues. You must have studied that already in Bhagavad Gita. So I'm not going to repeat it. 6 things, starting with Aishwaryam. And in fact, the whole thing is also called Aishwarya, Shadaishwarya. So this is what makes Brahman makes, within quotes, Brahman into Bhagavan. And so therefore, this Bhagavan, which is Brahman activated, so to speak, by a Kalpita Shakti, Maya Shakti, Srijate. Srijate means creates. And the same Bhagavan is both the material and the knowledge. The skill and the material are in one person, one entity. That's why you don't separate Bhagavan and Bhagavati. They're always together. If you go to Balaji temple, Bhagavati is in the heart. They will show in the heart. If you go to Rama temple, Rama is never without Sita. Never without Sita. So much for all these, what is that? People ask questions. Uttara Ramayana. Why did he abandon Sita? He did not abandon. This is the imagination of some in later interpolation. Valmiki Ramayana ends with the Pattabhisheka, ends with the ascent through to the throne of Lord Rama. That's how it ends. Some person's imagination, and the tradition became more and more patriarchal, and so we just see the shades of that. But coming back to this topic, this Bhagavan is the maker, material, knowledge, everything of this Jagat. How do I understand this? The Mundaka helps to see by giving an example of the spider. Yatha urnanabhihi. Urnanabhi means woolly naveled one. Yes, it has wool in its navel. Wool means like a string, sticky string. Yatha urnanabhihi srijate. It will come down from the ceiling with the help of that string. When you say, oh, let me catch it, what will it do? It will use that same string, it will eat up that string and then go further up. Srijate grinhate cha. This verse is, this mantra in the Mundaka is beautiful because it shows the non-separation between the material and the intelligence. The two are one. And so, yatha urnanabhihi srijate grinhate cha. And then if the question is asked, how different things came out of the same Brahman, yatha prithivyam oshadhayah sambhavanti. Oshadhayah, plants. So many varieties of plants, you cannot even categorize categorize these plants. So many plants, so little time. And every day they discover something new. And so all these plants, just as they are there from one earth, the diversity of the Jagat has come in the same way as the plants have come from the earth. Then one more question can be asked. The five elements are inert or sentient? Don't turn all Vedantin on me. Yeah. The Vedantin will say everything is sentient, but from the standpoint of this, they are inert. Okay. From the standpoint of Vyavahara, we would say inert. Yes, I did say everything is sentient. We don't have that distinction. But here it's just from the Ajnani standpoint. Yeah, present company exempted. We know that. Yeah. So from the Ajnani standpoint, it is the five elements are insentient. Or we can say that Brahman is what? Sentient. So how out of the sentient Brahman have come insentient things, relatively speaking, like rocks, etc. That could be the question. So the third line says, Yatha sataf purushat keshalomani तथा अक्षरात् संभवति इह विश्वम् यथोर्णनाभिसृजते गृह्णते च यथा पृथिव्यामोषधयः संभवन्ति यथा सतः पुरुषात् केशलोमानि तथा अक्षरात् संभवति इह विश्वम्. Just as out of a sentient person. Are you sentient or not? Abba, okay. After a lot of practice, people say, yes, I'm sentient. Why? Because I'm here and I'm aware of myself. So then, even in you, there are insentient things. Hair. Is hair sentient or not by itself? Ayyo, this is a very difficult question. Vedantically speaking, everything is sentient. Don't overthink. Is hair sentient or not? No. Are nails sentient or not? If you say yes, then I will say you need general anesthesia each time you go for haircut. Yeah. Because if there is Sukshma Sharira, you go, ow, 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 and you can't even cut the nails. You need general anesthesia or at least local anesthesia, and you have to go to the hospital to get a nail cut. Mani, okay, yeah. So, mani, pedi, and all is not possible at all. So therefore, what? So, therefore, out of this sentient person, insentient things can come. Similarly, out of sentient Bhagavan, Atma, Satchidanandam Brahma, insentient things like rock and all can come. Very beautiful mantra. So the whole Jagat is Ishvara, there is no Jagat. Now you can say everything is sentient, everything is Bhagavan. We saw that yesterday. Here a Bhagavan, there a Bhagavan, everywhere Bhagavan, Bhagavan. Old Mac Jiva. This is the problem. I had a complaint. I'm separate from everything. No, you're not. Everything is Bhagavan. And this understanding is crucial. And to seeing this body, mind, sense complex as also part of this Jagat. And I am non-separate from this Bhagavan. This is where the Shastra is headed next. So here, up till yesterday, whatever we saw, concludes the Tvam Pada Vichara, and we have already begun what is called Tat Pada Vichara. Tvam Pada Vichara concludes with Panchikaranam, Sthula Sharira Abhimani, Atma Jivaha Iti Uchyate. Then after that, then we get into Samashti. Samashti means total. Then we get into the discussion of the total. And in the discussion of the total also, we see how whatever is at the individual level is also happening at the total level. So there is a connection. Between the waker and the waking world, there is connection. This is what the Avasthatraya Prakriya has shown us. And between the sleeper and the pralaya, there is connection. Between the dreamer and Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara as Hiranyagarbha, also there is what? Connection. Very beautiful. The whole thing is just fantastic. And then, where did we leave yesterday? We left at a very high, lofty note, if I remember. And what was that? Yeah. So, tavat, yeah. So, yavat paryantam उपाधि भेदात जीवेश्वरयोः भेद दृष्टिः यावत् पर्यं तिष्ठति तावत् पर्यं जन्म मरणादि रूप संसारः न निवर्तते. न निवर्तते means it will not be relieved as long as I hold on to these as though differences. The differences are as though. And the as though differences, when I hold on to, like just like, what do you mean by as though differences? Out of the same dough, somebody from India will make chapati. Somebody from Italy will make what? Pizza. Somebody else may make pasta. Somebody else may make something else. It's all the same dough. It's as dough. Okay? Yeah. It's all as though, as though, as though, as though, as though. So therefore, if this is not recognized, then sukha dukkha will overwhelm the person and drop one in the big cauldron of samsara. In the big cauldron of samsara, one is dropped. Why? Because the jiva takes all the as though to be real. And the Bheda Buddhi, Bheda Drishti is our capital. One comes to the world with Bheda Drishti. And if Vedanta, Sadguru does not intervene, one goes out of the world also with what? Bheda Drishti. And that is why one is born again with Bheda Drishti. Bheda Drishti means the seeing duality. A vision of division is called Bheda Drishti. So Bheda Drishti in the beginning, Bheda Drishti in the middle, Bheda Drishti at the end. And as long as this Bheda Drishti persists, samsara will persist. What does that mean? Bheda Drishti is the definition of samsara. Very radical position. Very radical position. Huge it is. This is not something small. This is very, very big. Meaning, where is samsara located? Where is samsara? Here. Yes. Samsara is not located over there where I point the finger. This is called scolding finger. Tarjani. Tarjani means scolding finger, because you go like this to everybody. Pointing finger, closing, scolding finger, blaming finger, moving finger. All the time I say, this is the cause of my problems. If you were not there in my life, I would have moksha instantly. This is the feeling everybody secretly has. It's because of you that I'm suffering. It's because of X that I'm having this problem. It's because of this jagat. It's because of the weather. I'm always irritable when it's hot. Okay, now it is cold. What about now? Now also I'm irritable. Why? Because it's too cold now. And I have to position myself where the AC vents are not there. You see? So therefore, therefore I am disturbed. So the cause of disturbance is not AC. It's because of how you see. Okay? Yeah. How you see the AC, that is the cause of disturbance. It's not the presence of AC that's the cause of disturbance. It's not the absence of AC that is the cause of disturbance. The cause of disturbance is how I perceive the universe and everything in it. And this perception is partly based on non-inquiry, because I count everything. Like I can count so many items on this desk. I can first say the tablecloth, First desk 1, tablecloth 2, mic number 1, mic number 2, hurry, mic number 3, 3 mics. And then the glasses, cover of the glasses, the Tattva Bodha text, clock, pot, inside that one more pot. Veda Drishti. So the Bheda Drishti, yes, there is a certain Bheda there. I can't say the glasses and the mic are one. Otherwise, then somebody will say, why don't you just speak into the glasses and be heard? No problem. So Bheda Drishti, Vyavaharika Satta, from the standpoint of Vyavaharika Sattaya, from the standpoint of Vyavaharika, the transactional reality, it is useful. Mic is useful. Glasses are useful to be shining the light on these, what otherwise looks like small ants crawling on the page to the eyes without glasses. So the glasses are useful. Desk is useful. Why is the desk useful? Because it holds all these things. Plus we can say touch wood, W's. Teaching desk, teaching pot. Wonderful. It's all useful. But if I start using this Bheda Drishti to make a division from the standpoint of this Paramarthika Drishti, Paramarthika Drishtya, from the standpoint of the absolute, we say Abheda Drishti. We see even without Vedanta, we can see certain connections. You can look at this cloth. The cloth has a history. The cloth was once a tree. Oh. Or it was a sheep. If it is made of wool, I don't know what it is made of. And then, so it was, let's say it's made of cotton. And so it was a tree. It was a bush. And before it was a bush, what was it? Seed. Like this, it has everything has a connection. It's all connected. Before it was a seed, it was in the form of rain. It was in the form of wind that blew the seed here and there. It was one with the wind. It got blown somewhere and it planted itself. Then the seed was one with the earth. Then it was one with the rains. Like this, you see the oneness everywhere. Even this paper, different from me. But you see the paper. And in the paper, you can see cloud. You can see water vapor. And in this body also, you can see water. You can see everything. You can see the rains. It's all just one, even at this level. So, Abheda Drishti is equal to no samsara. Bheda Drishti is the cause of internalizing the universe as a personal affront. This is very important to note. The universe is benign. It is not out to get me. But yet, I am convinced of what? The feeling that everything is against me. I take everything personally. And then there's always some helpful comparison. This one doesn't have that, I have this, and so therefore this must be targeted against me. The Bheda Drishti is the cause of sorrow only from the standpoint of the mental, the perception, the wrong perception. Bheda Drishti cannot cause sorrow. It can cause discomfort. Yes, the prakopa, the anger of the sun was too much and it was very, very hot. I cannot say I have Abheda Drishti, so I'm all fine. You cannot say that. There is an oppressive heat. Granted, yes, but what is this heat oppressing? This we have to do an analysis of. What is the heat oppressing? The body. The heat is only at the level of the body. I don't personalize the heat and say, this is out to get me. Why only me? Heat can be, that one is subject to this terrible heat. Could be because of the karma. So many people went on this Hajj pilgrimage and died there. 125 degrees Fahrenheit. 125 is how much in centigrade? 50 degrees centigrade. Yeah. This is not the time to do pradakshina. Okay. This is not the time. But still people went. And then you can say that could be partly the wrong use of the free will, partly also karma. We can say that. That I'm experiencing heat could be because of karma. That I'm sad because of that is not due to karma. Here something else has to intervene. What is that? Subjectivity. Subjectivity is the English name for Bheda Drishti. Wrong understanding. Subjectivity. That subjectivity alone, as long as it persists, samsaro na nivartate. Nivartate means will not turn back. Samsara is there saying hello at every corner, like that jack in the box. Hi. It will jump up whenever you're not expecting it. Oh no, samsara attack. Hello. Why? Subjective drishti, Veda drishti. It is always there at the corner to say boo and scare you. Veda drishti gone, samsara resolved. This is a very big claim made by the Shastra here. And so, tasmat karanat. Therefore, we ended at this note. Tasmat karanat. Jiveshwarayoho bheda buddhi nasvikarya. Svikarya means the buddhi worthy of acceptance and internalizing. No. Subjectivity must always be rejected. Nasvikarya, reject it outright. Keep the mind clear by rejecting Bheda Buddhi outright. Straight away you reject. Don't try to make anything, even if it attacks from the side, this jack in the box samsara, just say, aha. If you are there, that means I'm seeing some difference. And I'm seeing something as different, which is not, and I'm being attacked by Bheda Buddhi, and so therefore subjectivity is attacking. Therefore, Nasvikarya, I am going to reject it outright. Spend the whole day in this kind of a rejection, as a result of which the other kind of a rejection which comes, rejecting the Mahavakya, will not be there. I reject the subjectivity that comes in the way of accepting and being open to and being transformed by the Mahavakya. So I don't reject the teaching. I reject the subjectivity that comes in the way of the teaching. So we left yesterday at this wonderful point, Tasmat na jiveshwarayoho bheda buddhi. So here, where is the bheda buddhi? Between myself and Ishvara. And here already there is a squirming sensation. This Ishvara. Ishvara means what? I look up. Ishvara is what? Omniscient. And me, jaded, faded jiva. What is this jiva? Struggling to spell the word omniscient. Always I before E except after C. Now, how is this word omniscient spelled? Struggling to spell the word omniscient I am, and this Ishvara is omniscient, all-knowing. What is Jiva? Small-knowing. Ishvara, all-knowing, I am small-knowing. Whatever you said yesterday, I have forgotten. Because somebody told me Vedanta, I should go with a clean slate. And so my mind should be like a clean slate. And so everything is erased. Small knowing. Versus Ishvara, all knowing. I am not knowing, small knowing. Wrong knowing, that is also has to be included. What is being taught also, I don't accept, I reject, so I'm wrong knowing. I have wrong knowledge. seeing serpents in place of rope all the time. I'm wrong knowing, small knowing, not knowing. And then Ishvara is the cause of everything. Brahma, Ishvara. What am I? Because. Ishvara cause, I am just because. I have a cause. Mother cause, father cause, local cause, this cause, that cause, karmic cause. I am subject to all kinds of causes. That means what? I am not the cause. I am because. Ishvara cause. I am because. What is Ishvara? God. What am I? Remove the G. Odd. I'm a weirdo. I'm at best odd. I don't even have social skills. That's why I'm at the ashram. True, this is, yeah. In a good way. Yeah, it's nice. I don't know how to make small talk. This is good. This is adhikaritvam. If you don't know how to make small talk, that's very good because you know how to make big talk. Big talk is Mahavakya. That's all one is ready for. I'm odd. This is God. How can the two be the same? What to do now? So many contradictions, so many objections, so many difficulties. What shall we do? Well, let us just go to the next verse. Yeah. Let's see what it has to say. Nanu sahankarasya kinchidnyasya jivasya nirahankarasya sarvajnasya ishvarasya tattvamasi iti mahavakyat katham abheda buddhihi syat ubhayoh viruddha dharma akrantatvat. Nanu means but. Nanu also is the way the objector introduces the objection. So we have Purva Pakshi. This is how we internalize the knowledge. Purva Paksha Siddhanta. So Purva Paksha means objections. And here we personalize, we embody these objections in the form of the person. Where are these objections? In the head of the objector, in the head of the Purva Pakshi. No. The Purva Pakshi's objections are all in my heart, which I am afraid to see, which I am afraid to ask because I already think something is wrong with me. And in spite of telling so much, I still see Bheda Buddhi between myself and Ishvara. So the Shastra comes to the rescue by creating this punching bag. You can beat up the Purva Pakshi because I am not him. I am a Vedantin. I don't have this objection. Who has this objection? This idiotic fellow has this objection. See, we can laugh at it. We can depersonalize it. We can feel safe. But look at the objections freely and frankly, because until and unless these objections are exorcised means like when there is a possession of some entity, you in the rural areas they take a what is that called? Broom of neem leaves and all that, and beat the head and drive the ghost away, one that is possessed. This is all just indigenous medicine. And so similarly here, this is not unlike what the teacher does, except the jhadu, the broom is the Shastra and the teacher is the wielder. And then the Shastra sweeps away all kinds of wrong ghouls, the ghouls of separateness, the ghouls of why should it be like this and I have to be separate, the ghouls of the identification with the body, mind, sense complex, and the ahankara are just driven away by the Mahavakya. And the Mahavakya teaching is incomplete without raising the objections that are already there in the student's heart. Some objections the student themselves are able to tell. No problem, they are able to talk about it. But most of the other objections, the students are not able to talk about either because they don't know it is there, it is deep down in the subconscious, unconscious mind, or it is too shameful to own up. If supposing the teacher asks the question, who knows this? Lots of hands will be up. If supposing the teacher were to ask the question, who doesn't know this? Nobody will raise their hand. It is too embarrassing. So therefore, all the questions which I am embarrassed to have, which I already feel a sense of smallness, and I'm afraid that if I have the question like this one here, how can I be Ishvara? This is the sum total of the question. We'll see the translation shortly. But how can I be Ishvara if I have that question? That means something is wrong with me. Look at all the other students. They seem to be nodding their head. They seem to be understanding. I'm the only one having this objection. I think I should stop attending classes from today itself. Yeah. So, therefore, we have this punching bag. This Purva Pakshi coming from this particular quote unquote school of thought, Darshana. So, this is how, because what is to be studied is not a matter for belief. If I tell an 80-year-old, if the teacher, school teacher tells an 80-year-old what? 5 plus 4 is equal to 20 minus 11. What? Third grade, third standard, the student is in. 7-8-year-old child. The child should not say, sir, I believe you. Madam, you must be right because I believe you. No. The child has to do the math. Apparent contradiction. This side single digits, plus sign. That side double digits, minus sign. And then in the middle one big equal sign. How can this be possible? And in the moment, there will be lots of questions. Lots of questions are there. And those questions need to be answered because this is in the form of a dialogue. This is in the form of the dialogue. Look at how the Gita is powered. Whenever the Lord stops talking, Lord Krishna says it's time for coffee break. Immediately, this one, Arjuna has a question. Arjuna asks a question. Otherwise, the Bhagavad Gita would finish in chapter 2. At the end of chapter 2, everything, the whole knowledge is complete. The vision of no division has been fully given. The shoka has gone. And it's been told that if you live in this as this Brahman, then it is you are free of sukha, dukkha, all these alternative cycles of problems. And then what is the conducive way of life in order to gain this knowledge? Karma yoga is also given. Samatvam yoga uchyate is given. Equanimity with regard to receiving the results of action is karma yoga is given. And skill in interpreting dharma to understand how this dharma works in each and every situation, that is also given. Lifestyle is given, vision is given, what is left? We would have had a very short Bhagavad Gita. But Arjuna asks a question in the 3rd chapter. It's in fact the same question that he asked in the 2nd chapter also. But it has a different dress. Then the Lord speaks for 2 chapters. He has a small question at the end of the 3rd chapter. Then the Lord speaks for 2 chapters. And then in the 5th chapter, again, he has the same question which he had in the 3rd chapter, but he puts it in an orange dress. And he says, this question is about sannyasa. Then again the teaching continues. Then again he has the same question in the 12th chapter. This is from the standpoint of bhaktas. Which bhakta is more favorite for you, oh Lord, because I want to be your favorite. Which bhakta is more favorite? The one who worships you in the temple or at an altar, or the one who is into the formless, into understanding the formless? 12th chapter, same question. In a different dress, from a different standpoint. Why? Because he's not understanding. That's why the questions are recurring. In the 18th chapter also, same question. What is Tyaga? Same thing. What is sannyasa? What is Tyaga? In other words, do I still have to fight the war? That is his question all along. Can I get out of this difficulty, this ghora karma, this terrible war you're making me fight? Do I have to do this? Isn't there a shortcut to this? Same question. So the questions drive the teaching. As soon as the question stops, that means what? The teaching is complete. So here also the teaching is complete, technically speaking. Veda drishtihi, this vision of na svikarya. Veda buddhihi, Veda drishtihi, na svikarya, must not at all be accepted. Must be rejected. Uniformly rejected. The teaching is complete. But then there is a nanu. But, this is the Purva Pakshi advertising his or her presence. Okay, but what? Sahankarasya. Sahankarasya means the one that is endowed with ahankara. Ahankarena saha vartate iti sahankaraha. The one that is along with ahankara. Who is along with ahankara? Jiva. Jiva alone is being talked about. This jiva who is along with ahankara, who appears along with ahankara, sahankarasya, and who is this? Ahankara means I notion. I notion means this is the sense that I am everything. I am this, I am that, I am this much. I have all these accomplishments. That person who is identified with ahankara. Sahankarasya kinchid jnasya. Jnasya for the knower. Jnaha janati iti jnaha. Jnasya for the knower. Sarvajnasya for the all-knowing person. And then kinchid jnasya. Kinchid means a little bit. Little knowledge. Kinchid jnasya. Kinchid means something. So the person knows a little bit of something. That's all. Has just a smattering of the understanding of how the Jagat works, has no understanding of Ishvara at all, has just a small knowledge. All knowledge versus small knowledge. Sahankara versus nirahankarasya Ishvarasya. So we have to do the opposite of each one here to understand the contrast that the person is putting up. The questioner is putting up a valid contrast. Valid from the standpoint of the lived experience. Temporarily valid until the teaching takes root in the heart. So then, sahankarasya jivasya, then kinchidnyasya, the one who is little knowing. Nirahankarasya, who is nirahankara? Ishvara. Yesterday I told you Ishvara has no head. And if there is no head, no ahankara is possible. Ishvara's ahankara is, I am everything iti ahankara. That's not really ahankara. So who is Ishvara? Nirahankara. Who is Jiva? Sahankara. Who is Ishvara? Sarvajna. Who is Jiva? Kinchidnyaha. This is the contrast. So Ishvara, from the Ishvara side, what do we have? Sarvajna. And then Nirahankara. So, this being the case, these differences between the Ishvara and the Jiva. Remember what I said, all knowledge versus small knowledge, cause and then because, God and at best odd. this kind of a difference being there, then from this Mahavakya, which Mahavakya? The Mahavakya that's taken here is Tattvam Asi, Chandogya Mahavakya. Tattvam Asi Mahavakya. Katham, how on earth, Abheda Buddhihi Syat. You just say Tattvam Asi and go away. How can there be a view, a vision of non-difference? Meaning, how Abheda Buddhi, Buddhi means identity. How can there be identity between Ishvara and Jiva? How is that possible? Why? What is the reason given here? What are the reasons? Two reasons are given. Sahankara versus Nirahankara. What is the second one? Sarvajnaha versus Kinchidnya. Kinchidnya, Sarvajnaha, Sahankara, Nirahankara, respectively. These differences seem too great to be bridged. They cannot be bridged at all. So this means what? This means that Abheda Buddhi Katham Syat. How can there be oneness? How can there be an identity? You might say Tat Twamasi, Tat being Jagat Karanam Brahma, Ishvara endowed, Bhagavan endowed with Maya, etc. And then Tvam means this miserable Jiva here. How can there be this identity? And he gives the Hetu for that. Everything, you see, it's a very nice objection. How can there be? It's a complete objection because he says, how can there be identity? And the Hetu for the non-identity is Ubhayoho, for the two of them, Viruddha Dharma Akrantatvat. Fifth case. The fifth case reveals the Hetu. So, fifth case always reveals the cause. And what is the cause of this difference in perception? The objector says, because Ishvara and Jiva are possessed of contradictory qualities, attributes. Dharma here is not dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma simply means attributes. Ishvara and Jiva have not different attributes. Like you like this kind of movie, I like that kind of movie, not this kind of attribute. What's the attribute here? Contradictory attribute, where there is no compromise possible. You can't say, I am small knowing and all knowing. Can you say that in one breath? No. You can't say, I have ahankara and then I have no ahankara. Then also it will not make any sense. So therefore, to this eye, Ishvara seems like a far cry for this eye. Identified with the body-mind-sense complex, Sahankarasya. Jiva, the one who says, I am finite, I have so many complaints, I have so many demands, and I have total non-acceptance of everything that is happening to me. Whatever happens, I don't accept. And so, for this Jiva, who is Sahankara, and then what is your knowledge? Just up to the next question. That's all. You ask one more question, and all my logic, all my knowledge unravels. Everything unravels. In fact, the Jiva is Avichara Sundaraha. Sundaraha means beautiful, as long as there is no inquiry. Like a model on a runway. This model comes all decked out, very nice. And from far away, it looks like perfect skin, perfect hair. Everything is a wonder. And you say, oh, she is just gorgeous. Let me go and meet her. Somehow, let's say they grant you the access to her. You can go meet her in the dressing room after the show. Then in the dressing room, she has taken off all the things that she had on. False hair, false eyelashes, false teeth maybe. Or at least something has been done to the teeth to make it look even when it is not even. False eyebrows, everything. Then you see, you don't even recognize. So As long as you don't do inquiry into this model, then she is truly a model for everybody. As long as you start the inquiry, where did the hair come from? Is the color of the hair even real? And then is where did the eyelashes come from? Where did the eyebrows come from? Where did the nose come from? From the hands of a plastic surgeon somewhere. Where did the cheekbones come from? Also from some kind of a job. And then the whole idea of this person being the Miss Universe or whatever it is, it collapses completely. Avichara sundaraha jivaha. Similarly, you inquire into the word jiva. Oh, I am the one endowed with ahankara. What is this ahankara? Ahankara itself is avichara sundaraha. The person looks very together. Oh, I have done this, I have done that, I have so many degrees, and I'm this one, and I'm that one, and I'm here, and I'm there, and I'm everywhere. Spend 5 more minutes with that person. Then everything will come out, starting with marital problems, children problems. And yes, they have a lot of money, but still, all of it is tied up in something or the other. Money problems. And then a lot of cases are put against them. Legal problems. Everything will slowly come out. In the beginning, it is avichara sundaraha, jivaha. So the jiva looks very put together, but then is always falling apart simply because whatever is put together falls apart. That is the law. So if I identify with everything that is falling apart, no wonder I'm feeling like I'm falling apart day by day. But the eye has to be walked over to the Ishvara's side. This is the Tattvamasi Mahavakya's job. That is the job. And so here this person doesn't understand that. So he said, Viruddha Dharma. They are possessed. Akrantatvat means being endowed with Viruddha Dharma. Being endowed with completely opposite dharmas. Contradictory attributes. How can Jiva be Ishvara? Beautiful question, very well put. And this is something which everybody has in the heart. Even though we credit the Purva Pakshi with the question, but still this belongs to, the question is for everybody. The answer is given here. Iti chet na sthula sukshma शरीर अभिमानी त्वं पद वाच्यार्थः उपाधि विनिर्मुक्तम् समाधि दशा संपन्नम् शुद्ध चैतन्यम् त्वं पद लक्ष्यार्थः एवं सर्वज्ञत्वादि विशिष्टः ईश्वरः तत्पदवाच्यार्थः. So, iti chet na. This is not the case. So first you make it in a short form. You say na, and then you expand on this na. How it is not, then you slowly tell. So first you say simply, you are wrong. No, this Bheda based on the attributes does not make you Ishvara. You are Ishvara, but you are looking at it wrongly. And how is the person looking at it? In a direct way. Like suppose I said in a sentence. What is the sentence? You know, yesterday what happened? An elephant went into my right ear. OMG, thank God. It then came out. I just went like this, and then it came out of the left ear, and that's how I'm okay. What's wrong with this sentence? Nothing is wrong. Grammatically, it's okay, correct? Yeah, tense is okay, mood is okay, and the agreement between subject, verb, object, everything is okay. But yet, it is incredulous, correct? You can't believe it because the possibility of the elephant entering into anybody's ear is just, unless you're talking of a small, what is that, small toy elephant or something tiny one. No, your real elephant cannot enter into the ear, much less exit out of the other ear. So the sentence may be grammatically okay, but it has no yogyata. The sentence must have yogyata, meaning it should be arthavat, meaningful. So here, saying the Tattvamasi Vakya has no yogyata. You are Ishvara is just like me saying elephant went into right ear, came out of the left ear. Grammatically, okay. Verb, subject, object, everything is there, but makes no sense. This is the objector's problem. This is where the objection is taking place from the what is called Vachyartha, the direct meanings of the words. What are the words here? Tat and Tvam. The direct meaning. So every word has a direct meaning, and sometimes there is an indirect meaning. Indirect meaning, implied meaning is called Lakshyartha. Direct meaning is called Vachyartha. Vachyartha is when you take it literally. I am Ishvara. Literally, you are not Ishvara. This is the problem with all this new age thinking. There is some new age. New age Vedanta, new age thing. So somehow they say, I am God. And then they try to manifest something. They try to manifest lot of money. Lot of money, of course, does not come. Why? Vachyartha. Because they're looking at it literally. Lots of money will not come because there are karmic forces in play. With this kind of a prarabdha karma, lots of money will not come. Simple. There will be enough to get by. That is more than enough. But no, I want lots of money. I'm going to manifest money because I am God. This is not how it works. This confusion is there even in Vedantic circles. Unless the parampara has been taught, unless the teachers in the parampara have been taught how to handle the pramana, this confusion is there everywhere. Pujya Swamiji was going from one place to another, and there was very little time between two flights. There was no time to wait. He had to run from one gate to another. He was busily going in Delhi airport. Seeing that he was a sadhu, some people came and tried to sell him one Bhagavad Gita book. You can only guess which Bhagavad Gita book. What was that? As it is. Okay. So Swamiji saw the book and did namaskar to the sellers and said, just like that. He just went like that and he proceeded to rush towards his gate. And then the two people selling the book, they said, what? You're not buying our book? You're not Ishvara, you know? And Swamiji said, I know. That's why I'm running to catch the plane. If I were Ishvara, I don't have to run to catch the plane. You have to see where the equation is being made. And that confusion itself, is problematic, because if you take it literally, Tattvamasi, then it is a head scratcher at best. How can you say this is I am Ishvara? Immediately you say, I am Ishvara. Really, I am Ishvara? Yeah. There's a catch in the back as soon as I said yeah. Pulled a muscle. A so-called Ishvara. When the Vachyartha does not work, especially in the Upanishad, we have to go for Lakshya. Why? Because you don't throw away the Mahavakya. You don't throw away the baby along with the water. You have to go for Lakshya. Why? Because I have Shraddha in the Shastra that it is the boat that is going to take me from samsara to the shores of Brahman as myself. I have Shraddha in the Shastra. So when there is respect, when there is devotion, then the knowledge definitely comes. So when there is respect, and when the source of respect is telling me something that makes no sense at all, it's like saying the elephant entered one ear and came out of the other. I still have to look for Lakshya. I don't dismiss the words of the Shastra, because Shastra is Hitaishini Sahasra Matravat, like 1,000 loving mothers. She wants only the best for me. And the Mahavakya is the ultimate gift to humanity. The Shruti's ultimate gift to humanity is the Mahavakya. And so to understand the Mahavakya, I must be in a frame of mind that is receptive. And if the direct meaning of the sentence does not work, I have to look for the implied meaning, Lakshya. What is this Lakshyartha? Many kinds of Lakshyarthas are there. We use that in the daily life also. This is a true story. Some people were sitting in the ashram in America, and one person said, "White is running. White is running." This makes no sense. Shveto dhavati. In some ashram somewhere, this was heard. One person whispering and saying, Shveto dhavati, white runs, white runs. This makes no sense. White is a inert entity, doesn't have the capacity to run, and even as a color, you can metaphorically say red color runs. You should not wash white and red color together, because all the white clothes will become pink. So therefore, so the white doesn't run even as a color. What does it mean? There is something that needs to be brought in. Only a few people understand who are in the inside group. What is the inside group? This ashram, which we are talking about, was near the race course, where the horses were running. White runs. Shveto dhavati doesn't make any sense. So we have to bring in something. What do we have to bring? Horse. Shvetah ashvah dhavati. This is one kind of lakshana. This is called ajahal lakshana. Ajahal lakshana means you don't give anything up, you bring something. You bring something else in order to make sense of this statement. White runs, what does it mean? Nothing. But if you're part of the insider group, you will supply, you will keep the sentence white runs, you don't drop anything from the sentence, you supply the word ashva, horse. Or if it's a dog race, dog, whatever it is, you supply the word. This is called ajahat, not giving up lakshana. And together, because of the sandhi, it becomes ajahal lakshana. Torli, there is a sutra. When it is lakara and then lakara follows, then it becomes lakara. Ajahat plus lakshana, ajahal lakshana. Ajahal lakshana. And then there is another kind of lakshana. This is a socialite going to a party. The example is of a socialite going to a party. She or he does not want anybody to know that they like to have alcohol in the party. And then they say, bring me some Coca-Cola with some aqua in it. Aqua means what? Water. Who wants to drink watered down Coca-Cola? Raise your hands, please. Yeah. It will taste awful. Here it is Jahal Lakshana, Jahat Lakshana. And the waiter is given some money along with the order. Not money for the Coca-Cola because it's in a club. Everything is free. What is the money for? Silence. Don't tell anybody. So the waiter understands. Waiter pockets the money and smiles and gives a knowing look. And to everybody, the person is drinking what? Coca-Cola with some aqua. Is there aqua? No. Aqua is dropped, and then some other alcoholic substance is replaced silently. So therefore, this word here is dropped. Aqua. So this is how we come to the implied words of meaning by having one or the other lakshana. There are many other forms of lakshana. There is in fact a whole treatise in Sanskrit talking about various forms of lakshana and how the lakshana functions as a figure of speech in poetry and in Sanskrit literature. There is a whole treatise on lakshana itself. But right now, these two are enough. This much discussion is enough for us. So we have this in our daily language, we say this all the time. We omit saying certain words because other people understand. And then we make the words something else so that people don't understand. This includes dogs also, because you can't say the word park in front of dog. It will go crazy. You can't say walk in front of dog. So the family members discuss. When shall we take Moti? Moti is a generic name for all dogs in India. When shall we take Moti for a WALK? Lakshana Vakya. You think the dog doesn't know? The dog learns to spell also. Somebody's house, I went for Bhiksha. They had one dog and they wanted to tell me how intelligent this dog is. And then they were saying, they were telling this dog, I think there is a CAT outside. And the dog immediately went and went to the window. Dog learned how to spell. Dog also learns Lakshana. See? So Jahal Lakshana, Ajahal Lakshana. Now let us see the Mahavakya. Now we are told Mahavakya Tattvamasi also has to operate according to what? Lakshana. So let us see what Lakshana we will use. Tat Tvam Asi. Shall we use Jahal Lakshana? Shall we drop some things in the understanding of Tvam and Tat? Yes. Shall we use Ajahal Lakshana? Shall we retain some things in the word Tvam and Tat? Yes. So therefore, what kind of Lakshana is being deployed here? Lakshana called Jahat plus Ajahat Lakshana. Jahad Jahal Lakshana. Jahat Lakshana plus Ajahal Lakshana. Both. And this is what has to be understood. You retain something and you give something up. And then here itself, the Shastra says what is to be given up, what is to be retained is talked about here. This is like a mathematical equation. Before we go to the text, I wanted to complete a few more things in this discussion. Going back to the child's example. What was the example? 5 plus 4 is equal to 20 minus 11. Child's example. And so here, what is this? An equation. This one thing we have to understand. Equation means it is not similar. It is identical. Same thing. E equals to mc square. This is another equation. Energy and matter, how can they be one? We have to look beyond the dissimilarity. Supposing if I said 9 is equal to 9, is that an equation? No. That's just dumb to say 9 is equal to 9. Everybody knows that. Why should I state it? There is no need to state 9 is equal to 9. 9 is equal to 9 is not an equation. An equation, by definition, the equation has to have certain characteristics in order to become an equation. First is, it should have dissimilar properties and an underlying oneness. Dissimilar things should be there. It should not look the same. Second thing is that it should have an equal sign, meaning this dissimilar thing and that thing which also looks completely dissimilar is what? One and the same. Chapati and pizza are one and the same. Or even we take chapati and pasta are one and the same. Naan and pasta are one and the same. Both of them are made of maida, white flour, refined flour. One and the same. But somebody will not understand it unless you're a cook. You don't understand it. This one looks different, that one looks different. The method of cooking is different. One is dry cooking. You just do it on a pan, on a grill pan, and the other one you put in water. How can both this be the same? So the underlying difference, and then the overlying difference and the underlying unity must be there for all equations. And then one more point, an equation means the underlying unity has to be cognitively discovered. This is what makes an equation an equation. It's not based on belief. Yes, you are right. Why? Because you are a sadhu and you're telling me, so you must be right. And I have Shraddha. This is not where the Shraddha operates. The Shraddha should operate in being open and accepting what is told. But here, this is calling for a cognitive shift, because where is the problem? In the cognition, there is a problem because I have taken Ishvara and Jiva literally, and on the literal level, the differences overwhelm the similarities. In fact, I don't see the similarity at all. Nirahankara, Ishvara. Sarvagya, Ishvara. Ishvara has Aishwaryam, overlordship. And what do I have? No Aishwarya. Ishvara just has to look, and then everything works in place. Bhishasmad vatah pavate, bhishodeti suryah, bhishasmad agnischendrasya, mrityurdhavati panchama iti. Even death, which makes everybody runs at the behest of Ishvara. Everything functions. Ishvara has Aishwarya, overlordship. What do I have? No overlordship. Even the pet dog, when I say sit down, doesn't sit down. Ishvara has all knowledge. I have small knowledge. Ishvara has Shrihi, abundance in the utmost, to the utmost degree. Samagra Shrihi. What do I have? Don't ask. Pujya Swamiji used to say, I can make the richest person poor in 1 second. How, Swamiji? How can you do that? I ask them for a donation. And then what does the rich person say? Sorry, Swamiji, I don't have, my money is all tied up. And when they say I don't have, that means they feel a certain poverty. Samagra Shrihi. And for the Jiva, no Shri. Even though the Jiva calls himself, herself Shri and Shrimati, Shriman and Shrimati, there is no Shri. Neither there is Mati. Okay, anyway, so there is hardly any Shri because there is poverty consciousness. And then Samagram Jnanam, all knowledge. And here there is Ajnanam, opposite, Viruddha Dharma. Samagram Balam, all strength. And what is the Jiva? You say foo, and the person flies away. No strength. Samagram Yashas, all all fame. You try to Google Ishvara and see, you Google God and see how many hits there will be. And then you Google yourself. What will come up? Nothing. Okay. And so this way, well known, famous is Bhagavan. Everywhere. Infamous at best is this Jiva. And then Samagram, Samarthyam, the ability to put forth, project, sustain and take back this universe. What kind of ability I have to create? I can at best create confusion. That's all. And I can't even take it back. This is the Jiva. So, Vachyartha does not yield anything except a sadness and confusion. Therefore, Lakshyartha has to be understood. And so here, now when we go back to the text, it will make a lot of sense. Sthula Sukshma Sharira Abhimani Tvam Pada Vachyartha. The one that is identified with the physical body, the subtle body, etc., the causal body, is the one who is Jiva. And it is the direct meaning of the word Tvam. And we do this every day in the world. If I say, please get up, you, please get up, that means I am addressing you as the body. Correct? And supposing I say, you look to be hungry. Did you have your breakfast today? I am addressing you as prana. The Tvam Pada is being addressed from the standpoint of prana. Supposing I say, you appear to be restless. What am I addressing? Mind. I am addressing you. The Tvam Pada has now gone in the mind to indicate the mind. Did you do this? I am addressing you as agent, karta. Ahankara I am addressing. So like this, there are different ways in which the Tvam, the Tvam here means has to be taken as Aham. The Aham here stands for Sthula Abhimani, Sthula Sharira Abhimani, Sukshma Sharira Abhimani, Karana Sharira Abhimani. I have Ajnanam. All these things. So this alone comprises the Vachyartha, the direct meaning of the word I. The direct meaning of the word I is the cause of all problems because it just indicates that which is finite, that which has no hope of becoming infinite, because the infinite is not something to become. It already is, and it already happens to be me. So therefore, the Vachyartha of the Tvam Pada is what? The one who is endowed with the body, mind, senses, ahankara, mano buddhi, chitta ahankara. And then the one that is endowed with a birthplace. I was born here. And then the one that is endowed with a birthday. Today is my birthday. And then the one that is endowed with mother, father, I have an origin. This is my kula, lineage. This is my clan. This is my family. This is my hometown. This is my home country. I am a citizen. I am a son. I am a daughter. I am a brother. I am a sister. I am a spouse. I am a mother. I am a father. All these are what? These all constitute the direct meaning of the word one. And then they are all upadhi-centric. Upadhi-centric means what? They are all centered on the upadhi dharma. These definitions of the word I are not incorrect as long as you understand that they are connected to upadhi. Upadhi means what? This container in which the I happens to be. The body, mind, sense complex becomes upadhi. Just like the white paper becomes a upadhi for crystal. See, I did promise I'll bring it. This one has Pujya Swamiji's face on it. Can you see that? Yeah. If you can't see it from far, you can come after class and look at it for a small fee. Okay. So This is the crystal. And then we put white cloth behind it. It looks like what? Yeah, it looks like a 6-month course student. Yeah. The one that is enjoying all the classes. And then you put some other color. Then it looks like a householder, grihastha. Then you put orange cloth. Namaste to Swami Kristalananda. This is how it is. Upadhivashat. So all these definitions of the word I are not based on the crystal, correct? They are based on the upadhi. They are based on the white one, the yellow one, the red one, green one. And you know the meaning of upadhi because the definition we saw yesterday. I also put it on the board so you can look at that. Go back and look at that. That was posted on the board because it's an important terminology. You will keep coming across it. So that which staying near something else lends its attribute to something else without becoming that thing. So now, staying close to Satchidananda, the body lends its attribute to the I. The body, mind, sense complex lend their attribute without causing any difference in Satchidananda. Satchidananda does not become the body, does not become the mind. So, upadhi, the body is the upadhi for Satchidananda. The body is the upadhi for jiva. The body is the jiva itself is nothing but Ishvara, as we will see. But one thing at a time. So let us go back and translate this. So, where was this? Yeah. So, iti chetna sthula sukshma sharira abhimani. The one who says, I am the body, I am hungry, I am thirsty, I am mad, I am restless, I am ignorant, etc., is the direct meaning of the word I. Then, what do? Just like we took away the crystal ananda from the crystal, what is left is crystal. This is sopadhikam. Sopadhikam means upadhina saha vartate. That which is along with upadhi. And what is this? Nirupadhikam. Without upadhi, free of upadhi. What is it? Nothing in particular. No color. No color in particular. Yet because of its clarity, because of it having no attributes on its own, lends itself to all the attributes. That is how this Satchidanandam Brahma is. And that is the true meaning, the lakshyartha, the implied meaning of the word Tvam, you, I, whatever you want to say. This is the implied meaning. It is not the direct meaning. Direct meaning is body. Body identified I. Mind identified I. And in the Vyavaharika Satta, in the everyday parlance, I keep operating on the direct meaning. You say, I'm going. My classes are done for the day. I'm leaving. I'm going. I'm not going. I'm staying. I'm hungry. I'm angry. This is the everyday talk, where the direct meaning of the word Tvam, as identified with the body, mind, sense complex, is talked about. This is the direct meaning of the word Tvam. And then you remove the upadhi. What is the upadhi? Body is upadhi for Atma, as the upadhi. Mind is upadhi. Senses are upadhi. Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira are the various upadhaya, they are the various upadhis. And so therefore, when you remove means don't have an out-of-body experience, please. Okay? We don't need that. Remove means cognitively remove. When you cognitively, like how we have seen all this time, when you cognitively remove the body, mind, sense complex from this discussion, what remains is Satchidanandam Brahma Atma. Satchidananda Atma. That's what remains. And so this is what is the thing. Nirupadhikam means upadhi vinirmuktam, freed of upadhi. And then if supposing you say, I don't know what it is to be freed of upadhi, I'm always with the mind, I'm always with the senses. And don't say how I am when I'm asleep, because I'm asleep. No. The example that is given is during a time of subject-object resolution, which is called samadhi. I've never had experience of samadhi. Doesn't matter. You've had experience of chocolate cake or no? Yes, that is samadhi. Okay. Now, when you are inhaling the chocolate cake, when you become one with the chocolate cake, you don't see anybody coming, you don't see anybody going, you have no thoughts other than kekoham. I am one with the cake. So I am one with this wonderful cake. This is who I am. This is just wonderful. Or ice cream on a hot day, whatever it is. That oneness, when you enjoy, nothing bothers you. There is nobody else. There is nothing else other than you. Or there is no ice cream separate from you. There is no cake separate from you. There is no eater eaten. The subject-object resolution, everything resolves. All there is Ananda. And even that is not cognized as an experiencer, because the experiencer itself is resolved. All there is one unending experience, one would think, but then the cake is over all too quickly. Bye-bye cake, bye-bye samadhi, hello samsara. This is what happens. Which is why we need knowledge. We don't need samadhi. Samadhi is just an experience that underscores the need for knowledge. You need to be one with everything, despite there being thoughts, despite there being no silence, despite there being all the vikalpas, differences, diversity. You recognize the differences as none other than myself alone. And if it is nothing other than myself, it has not the power to disturb me. It has no power to disturb me. So then that is the next word here. Evam upadhi vinirmuktam samadhi dasha sampannam. That which is obtained in a moment of subject-object resolution, whether it is through meditation or whether it is meditating upon the piece of chocolate cake as one with yourself. Doesn't matter. That same thing, what obtains is Shuddha Chaitanyam. A Chaitanya that is not, it is free of all upadhi. Chaitanya means Satchidananda. That is the only Chaitanya. How many Chaitanyas are there? That sentient I, pure sentience without any object. There is no knower. Knower has resolved. There is no object. Object is within consciousness. Subject is within consciousness. That which connects the subject to the object in the form of a means of knowledge, that is also within consciousness. Nothing outside of consciousness. And then that's when you are forced to say, this I is also what? Consciousness alone. This is Tvam Pada Lakshyartha. This is where I have to arrive at. And then when we see tomorrow, what will we see? That the Tvampada Vachyartha for Ishvara is very different from the Tvampada Vachyartha for the Jiva. But the Tatpada Lakshyartha for Ishvara is the same as Tvampada Lakshyartha. Both, when we do this analysis, like the harvesting of the potatoes, when you take away all that doesn't belong. Aishwarya, non-potato. Shrihi, non-potato. Jnanam, non-potato. Vairagya, non-potato. Balam, non-potato. Yashas, non-potato. You just shake it out. Same thing you do from Jiva's side also. Body, non-potato. But my body looks like a potato. Still it is non-potato. Okay. Body non-potato. Mind non-potato. Senses non-potato. Ajnanam non-potato. And what is potato? Shuddha Chaitanya. More we'll see next time. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।